Here is the bad parenting advice, digital parenting advice I see as someone who works in the field. If this is your first time catching me live, I'm Cyber Farida. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 under 30 internet safety expert and have a background in cybersecurity awareness, threat intelligence, and I also was a gamer online for a very long time. I actually still am a gamer. I've been gaming since I was like 13 years old. And I've experienced the dark side of the internet, the best side of the internet, all of the things, good, bad, ugly, and beautiful. And there's a trend going around about the propaganda that I'm not falling for. And I posted on my Instagram, and I'm going to share it here just for a little context into what I am talking about. So here is the Instagram post that I shared, and it said the propaganda basically that I'm not falling for. We're going to go over all of the things that I said really quickly and give an explanation of why. And then maybe I'll do like a full YouTube video about this, but I at least wanted to start going live again. So the first is stranger danger. Gaming is a waste of time. Just monitor your kids online. Online life versus the real life. Never post your kids online, and spying apps. Okay, so I'm going to be using what I put on Instagram as a starting point for this conversation. I'm pulling it up so I have it on my phone. Okay, let's go. So the first thing is stranger danger. The number one reason why I said that's a piece of basically propaganda, essentially bad digital parenting advice, is because when it comes to stranger danger, most online grooming, most predatory behavior happens from someone that your child knows, likes, and trusts, right? So that's number one. Number two, when we're talking about the online space, when you're talking about stranger danger, if your child is communicating with somebody and they're having communication, they're having conversations, not just a one-off comment, they're talking to each other, most likely they feel comfortable enough with that person to have communication with them. So though that person is no longer a stranger. So when you're saying stranger danger, your child is not hearing the person I'm talking to online, because in their head they know that person. They've communicated enough to not feel as uncomfortable as they would with a stranger, correct? So also, I think honestly, as a society, we do forget that typically when kids are having these conversations, they don't see that person as someone who is a bad person, or they're getting something out of the conversation. So your kid is most likely never going to be in a circumstance where they're talking to someone at their own will, back and forth, and enjoying the conversation at some level, even if there are certain things that are in the conversation that are uncomfortable with someone that they absolutely think is absolutely horrible and they hate. There's something in that conversation that keeps them going, whether it's curiosity, whether it is like, they really like the person, they're attracted to the person, they connect to the person likes the same things that they do, right? That is what kept me going in a lot of conversations. Even when certain things were uncomfortable, I just thought, oh, well, that's just like people say uncomfortable things, or uncomfortable things happen, or whatever it is. Like I wrote it off because I was enjoying the conversation on some level, right? Some level. I thought, oh my God, we both like the same like shows, we both like the same whatever. And this is the first time someone can get me, or like I can add this person to the people that totally get me or love the same things that I love, right? So that is why number one, the whole stranger danger conversation is like bad parenting, digital parenting advice in general. It lacks a little bit of nuance. There is a place for stranger danger. I understand why we've talked about it. I understand why it became a huge campaign. However, that is not something that you just want to say one and done. And like, that's basically the end of the conversation. Like, don't talk to strangers online. Don't talk to someone you don't know, because you don't know the person. You don't know what they can do. And that's the end of the conversation. It's like, no, we need a little bit more. We need a little bit more there, right? Secondly, when it comes to the online world, someone can pretend to be somebody your child knows. So we, in our lives, it's very hard for someone to pretend to be your cousin when they're not your cousin, right? But in the online world, someone could hack into, and this has happened, this is not just like, oh, this is a one-off situation. Well, this actually happens, where a predator hacks into your child's friend's account from school, or a family member's account. And inside of that, they start messaging their friends, their mutual friends, the people that this person in real life actually knows, but they're impersonating that person, so that when you're talking to your kid feels like, oh, like I know this person. They're a family member, they're a friend, right? Another way that they get close to your kid, and they are a stranger and it is a danger, but your kid does not know that and you don't know that because it doesn't seem like that, is because I'm going to put my other earbud on because I want to. Oh yeah, this is better. I love this. Okay. The second portion is that they can get mutual friends. So like they will befriend people that your kid knows online. So for instance, they may be they're not impersonating anyone in particular, but they make a fake profile, and then they connect with everyone that goes to the same school, everyone that goes to the same club, everyone that's in a part of the same organization, and they create mutual friends, a mutual friend profile, so that when they go to connect with your child or any other child, that your child goes, oh, like they're connected to, Jessica, they're connected to Mo, they're connected to Ali, they're connected to Jennifer that I know from school. So like they're totally fine. They're not a stranger, right? And they did a study and they asked these kids, like, who do you think a predator is? Like, what is a predator? And a lot of them said things that have nothing to do with someone being a predator, right? They said like these crazy descriptions. One of them gave like bald head. Someone said they had like thick glasses. Someone said they live in their parents' basement. Someone said that they were like ugly, right? So there's a lot of descriptions that they had about what a predator is based off of basically movies and imageries that we put online, and it's not actually fact. So that's why stranger danger is like a propaganda that we shouldn't fall for, and it's bad digital parenting advice in general. We should be teaching kids the red flags of online grooming and predator behavior. I made an entire list of the grooming red flags that I missed as a kid. It's inside of my free resource library. You can see it in the description below. I think it's like the second link or something, but it says like Protect Kids Online free resource library. It's inside of that library. I did all the grooming red flags. And then there's a resource from Love 146 to help your kids understand like some red flag grooming messages that they may get online. The second piece of propaganda that I put in here is gaming is a waste of time. I mean, if we really want to protect kids online and your child is gaming, telling them that gaming is a waste of time I totally understand why it's being done, right? You're trying to get your kids to understand like there's more to life than gaming. I need you to do your homework. I need you to have a really good career. I need you to have a good, joyful, beautiful life. But when we lead the conversation with things like gaming is a waste of time or you're on your screens too much, right? It disconnects your child from the advice that you're trying to give them. So and also is categorically incorrect because in general is categorically incorrect. Got to be nuanced with the nuance, right? Because gaming is what you make it. Everything is in moderation. If gaming is used in moderation, when it's best for them, right? They're doing it at a good time for them. They're able to regulate their emotions. And by the way, they're not going to be perfect with this. There's going to be an ebb and flow. Sometimes they're good with it. Sometimes they're not so good with it, right? But saying gaming is a waste of time and beginning the conversation like that doesn't allow for those nuanced discussions to happen. Number one. Number two, it can really help somebody's career. So I've met people who felt like gaming for no reason. There's no reason how gaming could ever be good for a child, right? And I'm like, wow, I mean, like my entire career was based off of gaming, like me public speaking, building my confidence, my friends, like a clearly sheltered child. But like my first experience with being able to be my full self and seeing how that was through gaming, right? I had a lot of experience outside. I was like the class president. I was a president in middle school. I did a lot of speaking stuff when I was like a kid. I read a lot of books, right? But I never felt like, I always felt like there was pieces of me. Or there's piece of me here, piece of me at school, piece of me in after school program, piece of me in this club, piece of me in this activity. But I felt like gaming was like where I could put all of it together. I could put the writing, I could put the public speaking, I could put the connecting with friends. I could put all of it together. And it was really fun for me, right? And so that built up a lot of confidence and a lot of time in gaming, to be honest. And also reading. I loved reading. So that was into gaming. To me, gaming was not a waste of time. However, I've met kids who spent their entire life gaming and they were using it as fully as an escape. And I was using it 100% as escape as well. Let me be absolutely real. I was absolutely doing that. But the point that I'm making here is that it can be used for good. It can be used for bad. I remember my first article that I ever wrote online was about how gaming can be used to change cybersecurity and protect more people online. Gaming was the subject of my first like keynote and how I got into the cybersecurity field, how I believe like literally helped my business, right? So there are things that you can help your kid understand that you can use gaming as something that is helping their life, but you don't want to go too deep into gaming as a waste of time. It's bad digital parenting advice to say that to parents, but also to say that to your kids. So the third one is just monitor your kids online. I see it many times, not all the time, but as like a flippant response to parents, like, oh, just monitor your kids. Like if you were just monitoring your kids, if you just knew everything your kid was doing online, if you just like knew everything they're thinking and doing, it's impossible. Even if you have like a parental control app, a parental monitoring app, even if you're monitoring the internet, even if you're monitoring every single possible thing they could ever do on their device, it's impossible to just monitor your kids online. Like you can do it, but just saying that as a flippant thing, like, oh, they weren't monitoring their kids online. Oh, you just need to monitor your kids online and everything would be fine. Like that is that lacks, again, nuance, number one. Number two, you don't have time for that. Number three, even if you did have time for that, even if you could do that, you still are not getting everything. What are they doing in the school bus? What are they doing at school? What are they doing at your parents' house? What are they doing at their grandparents' house? What are they doing? Same thing, obviously, but what are they doing at friends and family? What are they doing after school programs? What are they doing in school? Whose phone are they looking at? Like, there's a lot of variables that you cannot control. So just telling parents, oh, just monitor your kids online, everything will be fine. That's not realistic, number one, and not possible. Okay. Number four is online life. I have a Pilates class in like 15 minutes. And I know I need to go right now, but I think I'm going to have to change it because I'm live. It'd be like that sometime. Let me go cancel it so that someone else can. Okay, yeah, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get there in time. Okay, we're going to do that another day. I'll just do Pilates at home. Intermission. Okay, so the fourth one is online life versus real life. I mean, telling kids that what they do online and what they like online is like not real, and the online world is not real, and their real life is real, is not the best way to go about like protecting them online, because what happens online does affect them offline. That's number one. Yes, there are things offline or online that are not true. We are in the age of AI, but even before AI, there's Photoshop. People, highlight reels of people's lives. We don't want to talk too deeply into all of those things, but in this live stream, we can do it in another one if you want. But somebody's online life is their real life. People are actually meeting their partners online. People are actually making money online. People are actually remote working online. People are actually meeting people that are harming them online. People are being bullied online. People are being followed and stalked online. People are being groomed online, right? So saying that their online life and their offline life is like not the same and they should separate them, or like this is not real, like this is your real life, this is your online life. No, all of it is a real life. And we're headed towards a future where very rapidly, essentially everything is going to be like that is their real life, right? What happens online is what is happening in their real life. We have augmented reality, right? We are heading very quickly to a future where it's merged together even more than it possibly ever could in this moment in time. So we have to like not say that when it comes to protecting kids. The other point that I made in the post was never post your kids online. And I had a little bit of like some people asking like, what do you mean by never post your kid's picture online? I genuinely think personally me, from my experiences professionally and personally, telling a parent to never post their kids online, like as in this is a blanket advice, never do it. Nobody should ever do it. And if someone does it, just take it out or nobody do it, is not good digital parenting advice. I understand where it comes from, deeply understand where it comes from. And I agree with the intentions of people saying that, because there's a lot of harm when it comes to kids' pictures and videos and who they are as a person and their personality and consent and predators. There's a lot in that conversation. However, I do not believe that the blanket statement is kind of like saying no kids should be online, no teen should be online. Actually, that's even worse than no pictures. I think I posted that. I think I added that to the list, like that I posted. Maybe I think it was on TikTok or something. Like that's even worse, to be honest. But telling a parent never to do that is not going deeply into the problem. That's number one, because even if you post pictures of your kids online and it's a private profile, it still cannot be good. Okay, so we have to like stop pretending that just because you don't post your pictures of your kids online, they're completely safe. Okay, do we want to get in that conversation? I don't know. Number two, just because you posted in a private profile, that's completely safe. I want to show you that it is safer. It is safer. Absolutely, it's safer. But it does not completely absolve you from posting safely of your kids online. So some people feel like, oh, well, because this is not a public profile, I can post whatever I want about my kids online. No, because we're still not talking about consent. You still be maybe posting a picture of them that's not good and it can be leaked somewhere else, right? Some people post on private Facebook groups or mom groups or whatever it is. That's still not great. You also have parents, right, who may be taking your parents are seeing pictures of their grandkids and they're thinking, oh my God, so cute. Let me share it with my Facebook friends. And you're sitting there like, oh my God, like I don't share anything, but my mother does, my father does, uncles, aunts, my friend does, right? The school does. Do you want to talk about schools? Oh my God. Okay. After school programs, all of that. So just being mindful of that conversation. It's like we have to have a little bit of nuance in that. So I think personally me saying never post your kids online is bad digital parenting advice on the surface, but under the surface, I understand why it's being said, but like you have to be a little bit more nuanced with that. And then the thing that I didn't post on the list is never have like teens and kids should never be online. I get that comment every now and then. Thankfully, it's not a lot, but I get it way too often. So I don't get it under every single post, but every now and then I think this is one of the top comments I get overall in the year. And it's like, oh, well, kids shouldn't be online anyways. That's irrelevant. They are online. It's irrelevant whether they should or should not be online. You can't control that. Even if you put a law in place, no matter what, they're going to be online. Education is happening online. Entertainment is happening online. Connecting with friends and family members are all happening online. So saying that your child should just not be online is irrelevant. Now, if a one family makes a decision for their family that they are going to just wait for the internet in general for as long as possible, and they have the school system to support that, they have the community to support that, they have the lifestyle to support that, then that is amazing and perfect, and I honestly 1000% stand behind that. But for telling parents in general that your kids just should not be online is a little bit a little bit odd. Also, you don't know what your kid is doing. You can ban social media and they can have they can create a social media account behind your back. You can ban gaming and they can go behind your back and do that. I did that as a kid. Many kids do that, right? So you may be sitting here thinking like, oh, my kids don't have social media. My kids don't have the video games. And I hope that they don't, to be honest, for your sake. But for many kids, they do. They just hide it from you. So, and kids will go through extreme lengths to hide things, right? I've heard of kids who their parents banned everything from them and they got a phone from somebody, like it was gifted to them, or they saved up enough money to be able to do that, and they connected to a neighbor's Wi-Fi. I've had kids who used their phone because they knew that their Wi-Fi was being monitored. They connected to a neighbor's Wi-Fi or some hotspot or whatever, and not the one at home. So there's a lot of ways that kids will go around things. The last point I'm going to make, because I didn't want to make this live stream way too long, and I just wanted to at least just start going live a little bit more, and then I'll create a whole video about this, is spying apps. I already created 2-3 videos about this, in particular, this point about spying apps. But any company that is marketing oh, you can spy on your kids, you can look at your kids, you can monitor your kids without them knowing. The without them knowing thing is a big red flag. Anytime a company says they're spying, it's just horrible. I mean, not only just for trust, but also that app is not built with any type of privacy, security, or safety whatsoever. So a lot of these apps don't have the tools, the team, the money, or the care, to be honest. A lot of them don't have the care, but many of them, to be honest, it really is about the budget or the lack of knowledge of security and safety. They just started this company so they can help more parents protect their kids online. My heart goes out to them. I truly believe they deserve more funding and support and resources, but they do not have the support and resources to create an app that's actually safe and secure. And so I've had companies reach out to me about parental controls and parental monitoring, and I think, oh my God, I hope that they're able to get the support they need in order to make it safe. Because a lot of these apps, parental monitoring apps, parental control apps, they don't have the understanding of what cybersecurity and privacy is. And so a lot of these, this is why I call it bad parenting or digital parenting advice, is a lot of these parenting blogs and well-meaning parenting blogs, a lot of YouTube channels, well-meaning YouTube channels. And by the way, I can make mistakes. Anyone can make mistakes. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, right? If you see something on my YouTube, you thought, that doesn't seem right, message me, let me know, I can correct it, right? But a lot of these channels will tell you about downloading these parental controls that are horrible, horrible. When I say horrible, I mean, some of these parental controls have released pictures and videos of kids, location information about where your kid goes to school, your home address, their name, their email, their passwords, text messages, voice messages, all of it about kids. And I'm the whole point of this app is so that this does not happen. So when a company releases millions of data points about your kids, and they do it multiple times, right? Multiple times, I don't think, and then they don't alert you about it. It's not something happened and they're so apologetic and they're working on a fix and they're hiring a cybersecurity team to make sure that things are better. No, something happens to them. They don't tell the parents. They let it go, and all of your kids' information is now online for a predator to sift through. Absolute insanity, right? So that's why I say these apps, basically recommending these apps is bad digital parenting advice. If you want to look at an app to see oh my God, is this app good or bad? I would recommend putting the name of the app in Google and then putting in privacy or security issues or vulnerabilities, or have they been hacked? Have they had a data leak? That type of thing. You can put that on Google and something would show up. I made an entire video about this. So if you want it, let me know. I made a full video about like the apps that are not safe. Actually, I have a whole PDF. So inside of my description is the free resource library. It's called Protect Kids Online Free Resource Library. Inside that library, I have like the 45 plus apps that were shown not to be safe. They did like a deep investigation into the apps. It's on ftc.gov, and they have 2 parental control papers, like studies on going into these apps and seeing if they're actually safe from a technical standpoint. And so this is not just like, oh, me saying it because I don't like these apps. No, like actually, it's not really good. So go check out my description. I believe it's a second or third link, whatever. It's called Protect Kids Online Resource Library. Go in there and then see all of the apps that are not safe. And yeah, that is all for the bad digital parenting advice. I most likely will make this into a full-fledged, like actually edited, highly whatever YouTube video. I at least wanted to start going live again every single week. I would love to go live like every other day or every day, but we'll see. But I want to start going live and about different topics. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about, let me know below. And if this is your first time catching me live, I'm Cyber Frida. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 under 30 internet safety expert, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here. It is my mission to help you protect your kids online, because I don't want your kids to go through what I went through as a kid, and your kids deserve to have joyful, beautiful experiences online, and I want us to do this together. Bye. Where's the end live stream button? Okay, I haven't been live for so long. Okay, bye.